Okay, welcome. Good evening, everybody, to Collective Enlightenment, where we speak about everything for the people. And as Doc Bay, one of our amazing greats, would say, power is the people.
Amen, amen, and amen.
I'm one of your hosts, Ruby Thomas, also known as the Crypto Queen in Harlem, Miss Ruby. And I'm here joined by one of my co-hosts and one of the three founders of the P2G Networks platform, Mr. Alvin Thomas, also
Yes,
known as.
Cold Banker coming to you live on Gram at a time. Oh man, Rue, let me tell you, I got to be very honest.
Hmm.
I First of all, I take my hat off to you.
Why?
The role of producer is
Why do you
real.
say that? Whoa, I see you took the name on it. You notice I ain't put producer up there tonight.
I didn't look. I didn't get a chance to pull it down. But let me tell you, you put on so many events as the producer for the P2G networks and get them on, getting it on screen. Let me tell you, I got to the producers out there who produce content. I take my hat off to you,
And
without a doubt.
live programming. Come on
A lot
now.
of programming, a lot of detail orientation,
Exactly.
real talk.
That's
Oh man,
right.
real talk. But I'm just glad to be here tonight. Glad to
Hmm.
have you back in the space. Can't wait to give you your chair back.
Oh, the doctor said that's gonna be a few weeks. You stuck with that for a minute. Ah,
Let me give you your chair back. Let me tell y'all. Shout out to everybody who does produce
yeah.
content on any of these platforms that they stream,
Hmm.
podcast, vlog, real talk, real work.
Exactly. We
Man,
got to give
I
we got to
never
give
did
love
it.
to the producers, definitely.
So tonight's gonna be a good night. I'm actually loving tonight's conversation, and I'm glad to be having this conversation with you. Um, we're talking about New York.
Mm.
Ah,
Why? Why are we talking about New
New
York? What's
York
so
is
special?
actually the hidden. This is what I'm gonna dub it. New York is the hidden Bitcoin capital of the world.
Ah, the hidden
It's the
gem.
hidden capital of the world.
Them not trying to say so. That's
They have been duping the people of New York.
right.
The, the New York Assembly, the New York Senate has been duping the people. Let me tell y'all guys, it is phenomenal what's happening. We're gonna let me see if I can pull up. Let me go to a share screen really quickly. Just hold on 1 minute. I gotta put this out here because
Yeah.
this is phenomenal, and it won't let it out. Give me 1 second. Let me click on share screen. Okay, make some more cookies.
Oh wow, is that outside your window?
That is Mr. Softy himself.
Oh my God, that is an amazingly nostalgic sound. So, if anyone is from Harlem, if anyone is from, literally any neighborhoods where you have the icy man or ice cream man, they always play the song. Now, mind you, we have been very selective about this particular song because we know that they've had ones in the past that were not so savory and represented the
Yep,
wrong thing, and our people just didn't
absolutely.
know. So we put them on. So we got Mr. Softy, and he's singing the right song right now, right?
Ah,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
He out here, Mr. Softy, making his money. Now, the reason I say that's a big thing is because it's like 60 degrees out there. It is not hot.
It is literally look.
It's like
That's enough
actually
for
in
them
the
to come out
50s.
and hustle ice cream, hustle ice cream.
He hustling ice cream while the sun is out.
Yep. So
Because let me tell
y'all
you.
want to see what we're talking about? New York City and the hidden treasure of New York.
All right. Bring it up.
Let
Bring it
me,
up.
let me get rid of this.
All right.
Breaking news:
Breaking news.
New York State Assembly passes Bitcoin mining moratorium.
What does that mean, Mr. Thomas, for those who
Let me ask you a
are
question. Let's
questioning?
keep it simple. To put something in a mortuary, doesn't it have to exist first?
That means you killed it.
Like that. Okay, okay.
I
Shots
guess that
fired
was
from the
a
P2G
response.
network. Shots fired from the P2G network.
Look, is what
Let
it
me
is.
tell you guys, it is real. New York
Right.
has been shouting from the rafters that they don't promote cryptocurrency in any
Wait,
manner.
wait, hold up, hold up. Who you talk about? New York or New York politics?
New York politics.
All right, because
Okay.
I was about to say, because New Yorkers are like, would you get off my back and let me do what I do?
Yes, indeed.
Hey guys,
Oh,
how y'all doing? Hey
you guys
P2G
from
family.
Facebook, please put your name in so we know who you are when we shout you out.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Give you some love.
Look, so the state passes a Bitcoin mining moratorium. So you
Okay.
gotta be alive before they can put you in the ground. So New York politicians and lobbyists have been saying you can't do Bitcoin in New York. You can't mine. But now there is a bill in the office in the assembly that just passed that says Bitcoin. Hey, Miss Karen,
Hi, Miss K. Hey.
let me scroll down here. If Bitcoin mining moratorium becomes law, it will be the world's most sweeping piece of legislation of its kind.
Mm,
That sounds like a big thing.
that
Now,
does. Why?
I'm gonna tell you, whenever they put something through, there's a reason that benefits people. Certain people.
Gotta
Certain people are gonna
listen.
get benefited from this.
You gotta listen.
Let's go through this really quickly. Shout out to Getty, because that's their photo. They did a great job on that.
That's what's up. Where's this article coming from? We are in the
This is coming from
Observer.
the Observer.
All right,
This is
just
an
making sure we
online
put out
paper.
right. You always quote your. You gotta always quote your sources. We don't make this stuff up. We trying to let
No,
people
we
put people
don't.
on to what's up, and what does it mean for where you live? Because if New York, this is happening in New York, y'all know how that go down for everywhere else in the country. Come on now.
Now, I want you to see what this says. On Tuesday evening, the New York State Assembly, passed a 2-year moratorium on Bitcoin mining pending environmental impact measurements. All right, we're going to stop there. Liz Moran, this is her post. I'm not sure where she is from.
Uh huh.
Oh, Kevin Park, NYC. That's a news reporting report out of New York City. I know that.
Mm.
And the bill passed in the assembly. Ann Keeley's Kevin Parker. The bill is
Come on.
87389C slash S6486D, which poses
All
a
right.
2-year moratorium on fossil fuels permits. So what they're telling you is, and they're focusing
Pay
this on
attention.
they're focusing it on Bitcoin, but
Mm-hmm.
the whole aspect is about fossil fuels being used. Now,
Interesting.
most mining are
Mm-hmm.
done by reusable energy.
That's right.
Reusable energy, which means solar, water.
Mm-hmm.
Some electricity is being used. No one's using gasoline to run their thing. They are very few that I know of. They're using
Yeah.
solar power.
Yep.
So let's go down a little bit in this statement. The the bill will now go to the state, which controlled by the Democrat. If it is if it becomes law, it will be certainly the most comprehensive legislation of its kind in the world. Here is an extensive background, and you can go in that. And that was the FinTech Publishing back in March 27. That was written by James Ledbetter. He
Okay.
talks about this article. But what you may know, this bill came up last year at exactly the same time. The same bill came up last year and was shot down because who is now the former governor,
Mm-hmm. Right.
Andrew Cuomo, who was replaced by Catherine Hochul, shot this bill down. She is now up for re-election, and she said she is vigorously monitoring this bill and reviewing it with her staff.
Okay, so we got the basics.
There's
We
some
got
keys to that. I want
we
y'all
got the
guys to go
bow.
and read this article.
Definitely. Definitely. Please drop it
Definitely.
in our chat. Drop it in the chat for the Facebook. And if you guys are watching on
We'll
YouTube,
do.
we want to
We'll
make sure
do.
you get it on YouTube. Because why, y'all guys, I know y'all see us every week. We come back, and it's like, what are you guys talking about? What's going on? And it seems like it's almost frivolous what we talk about. And it's, to me, in many cases, like we're saying sky is falling, and you guys are looking at us like we're Chicken Little, and we're like, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. You're about to have, or I should say, the economy is not just falling, it's not just crashing, it's actually it's actually evolving. And that's the same thing for many households as the sky falling or the economy crashing,
Yes, it
especially
is.
when it becomes something that's digital. Al, you want to pull that down now? Especially when it becomes something digital, something that we already have a problem. But this conversation, let's remind you, this is a conversation for the people, by the people, about the people, to change the lives of people. Okay. And be honest, it'll only change your life if you understand the relevance. P2G and Collective Enlightenment has been on for the last couple of years. We've been on for about 2.5 years. And
Absolutely.
if you went back in our archives in YouTube, you would see that we were always a step ahead of this conversation in finances in our country, ahead of the pandemic that came. We helped people get through that, helping them to find alternative ways to create income when there was none. People getting back up from jobs or losing jobs in a long stretch of job loss because they took the time to join with a network of information and put into action some steps that they learned from people who had different experiences. And that is something P2G has always stood for. So when you come to Collective Enlightenment, you get an information that speaks to the masses, because most of the masses don't get anything until it's in the news. A lot of us have been
Absolutely.
having these conversations long before it hit the mainstream news. Most of y'all don't watch, y'all don't read the Observer. The reason we don't speak to the people who are already doing it. We speaking to the people right now who are in a position where you don't read those papers. That's not something that's common to your common conversation in your community. And it can be detrimental to your finances, to your livelihood, you know. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to scout the sky is falling. I'm saying that because we already know what we went through, and we've already seen ourselves, we've already overcome and been able to get through when others were just getting by.
Absolutely.
So
And okay, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
so while everybody's hearing Bitcoin is going to do this and Bitcoin is going to do that, and New York is the mecca, blah 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 blah, I have always said one thing about crypto has always existed. One issue with crypto: without mass adoption education, without mass adoption with education, full mass adoption, excuse me, is impossible. Full
True
mass
statement.
adoption becomes impossible because what you don't teach people to do will not be conducive to expecting people to participate in. Knowledge is not just power, it is the only way to empower in any way. So while the governments and businesses are they're comfortable creating ways to get you to be comfortable spending your money how they say for you to do it, and how you're good with allowing people to tell you do it this way instead of that way, will always keep the status quo. It will always have the generations of your family asking, Mom, Dad, are we poor?
And that's a question that only individuals can answer. Your family, you have to answer that for your family. Are you? Are you taking advantage of the information available to you to be ahead of the curve
All
instead
right,
of
so
behind the curve? You know, this is something we share with business owners as well. One of the things you don't want to do is own your own business and wind up being a consumer to being the consumer to your customer.
Exactly. Exactly. Believe it or not, you'll be a
That is such a
consumer.
real statement.
Your customer will be not a consumer of yours. It will be a consumer of its your financial. You already
Right.
already are. Any of that we share with them. So bringing that back to businesses, we do a program every Tuesday, and we're actually going back to every Tuesday. We're inviting business owners to come out and learn how to get involved in this new change that's taking place. Because now that New York is opening doors like this, and yes, they will be, they're not going to say no with a giant deficit sitting on their chest. Just
Not at
get that
all.
and understand. They might delay a little, but guarantee nobody, and I mean nobody, is saying no to the only money flow that is international effectively. During wartime,
Absolutely.
during wartime, the only financial model working is the cryptocurrency markets.
Hmm.
100%. Most people
Still
don't
in play.
understand that. And ends up what ends up happening is that we the people end up depending on the government to tell us how and what and why. And guess what ends up happening? We end up consumers. We end up on the bottom echelon paying the high bills and the high taxes so big businesses can pay no taxes and give minimal what you call it, minimal benefits. See, we don't, thinking that you're getting great benefits and that the minimum wage is up to 15%. Ask yourself how high inflation is right now. Ask yourself how high the tax rate is.
That is a
So
true statement.
$15 actually drove you back to 7 where you came from 10. Let's talk about it, people. These are the numbers of our lives.
If you think about it, when you operate, were you saying something else before I go in?
Go ahead.
We, one of the things that we have to realize as individuals, when you're given a raise, first of all, the first thing you got to realize that raise wasn't given without some concessions in place. That raise was not given unless there was some concessions in place. Those $15 raises came into play because they were given credits as business owners. Secondly, whenever you see a raise happen, know that your raise reflects the amount of inflation that just occurred, just to keep you just below the inflation rate. If you look at, I'm not a tax provider, I'm not a tax accountant, but whenever there's a raise in inflation, you get a raise in your paycheck, just to keep you at status quo, to keep you going. And then you don't even get to status quo because you actually fall behind because now your tax bracket for some people have gone up. Let me tell you, I was when I do have a job still, and sometimes when I get a raise, if I get a raise, I notice my taxes go up just the same, no different than the raise. The same amount I got in taxes, the same amount I got in a raise is just about equal to the same amount that I got in taxes added to my check. So you guys just want to realize what they're really saying. You really got to understand what they're saying and be okay with that. Second of all, what are you doing to change that? What are you doing to change the game for yourself? What are you doing to make a difference that will take you outside of the idea of what's going on with dealing with this? Now I don't want to really go too much off subject, but I want to get back to Bitcoin in New York and what's really happening. Part of the conversation that they're having is they're going to wait for the Senate to approve it. Now, the Democrats run the state assembly currently. They also run the Senate. So, how likely is it for it to pass? It's up to you. You take it as what it comes. How likely it'll pass? I think it'll pass with no problem. Second of all, this bill is actually attached to another portion that you may not you have unless when you get to read it, you'll see it. It's attached to fossil fuels. Fossil fuels in New York only cover a couple places that are actually doing anything in New York. And none of it has anything to do with mining. None of it has anything to do with crypto mining. So it's just an environmental clause that they had to put in from last quarter that they didn't get accomplished. So look into it, do your research, and you can get this information if you go right to the New York State Senate. They have a whole page where they have all the bills that are in place and what has gone through and what hasn't gone through. It won't be up tonight, but if you get with P2G Networks, I will be posting it so that you can see it, and I will also post it on our page, our social media page, so you can actually see that information because it's real. Now, one of the other things that I want to
That
really
it
get out,
is.
yes, it is, yes, it is. Now, with this
Mm-hmm.
being known, with this being known that New York is already in the crypto space fully, where does that leave you?
Mm-hmm.
You? What doors are being opened for you? Because they only
So,
open doors when they can go through first. So what's available to you now that Bitcoin is quote unquote available for mining in New York? Is
okay.
it large scale
So,
mining? Go ahead. What were you going to
one of
say,
people,
Will?
all right. All right. So, my question is okay, once again, I'm always going to put it to who are we speaking? Like I said, I'm speaking to those who don't already have the conversation. All right.
Right.
For those who do have the conversation, and this is an opener, you guys are going to go read that. But what about the people who are just getting this conversation and it's going way above their head? They have no clue what cryptocurrency is, no interest in it because it's not important to them. There's a reason it's in the Observer and not in the Daily News. There's
Or the
reasons for that,
post.
y'all. You know, Al mute. So I just want everybody to understand that this is, we have to understand that there is an inequality of information. We have been dealt a hand as the people. There are those who are in my community because it has been tried to be dealt to me. But fortunately, that doesn't work with me because I'm the kind of person who seeks out information outside of my environment. We're talking to the ones that don't have that advantage, that are kind of out here hearing about it. They got things they think about it because they heard something. They don't know what the heck this moratorium is. When I say collective enlightenment, I think we need to start recognizing that the collective is a lot wider and bigger than those who are already in our circle. Don't you think so, Mr. Thomas?
Absolutely, because people are out there talking about it. But I got to shout out to my brother Hutch because he says what.
I'm sorry, did you not hear me? Am I going in and out because I have to be?
Yeah,
I know it might be my connection because okay. So what I was saying was we have to speak to in our conversation here to a wider collective than the people in our environment already, because it seems like we talk about stuff that can go over anyone watching this video right now. Just an average person stumbling onto it or someone sharing it might be really out of the loop after that first news story because they don't know what the heck is going on with that. They don't know what a moratorium is and they don't care because it doesn't have an importance in their life. They don't see they our job, in my opinion, with this whole collective enlightenment is to bridge the gap of that lack of understanding.
very
Because if we
so
keep
true.
speaking the jargon that folks don't know, it's just gonna keep being a don't know.
Okay, so let's make it layman so everyone gets an understanding.
No, I'm not talking. Look, let's stop using words like that because first of all, you don't have layman's. There's no layman's here. There's just people. Being able to speak to more than one genre is more than one experience is it's actually a priceless gift. And we speak
Say
to
that
many
again.
different people, but I mean, I get where you're coming from. We speak to many different people, to many different groups. Alvin, did you just type that?
Yep.
So say what you just said.
Layman is the people.
Say what you just typed.
I said
That's
layman
not what
is
that
the
means.
people.
If you go back, layman is the people. That's actually not the case. Layman is of a definition of a person. The average person, like the average person is what you thinking layman stands for? Talk to me, brother. We over here. I don't
Oh,
have a
excuse me.
hate
I'm
to say
sorry.
it, but we don't
Forget.
got a
That's how
speaker
it is.
audience.
Layman doesn't, it doesn't actually mean. It is a distinction given in church, but it actually means the people who serve,
Hmm.
the people who serve is
Hmm.
what it means.
Now I got to ask a question. Yeah, again, it's a distinction. It's given to. I'm talking about anybody that's not given to any title. And the goal of it, I want to keep the goal to be able to take these things, break them into kind that many can understand. Because what does Bitcoin coming to the city actually means? Or I should say, I'm sorry, because we told y'all Bitcoin been in the city. I've been
It has
saying
been
that
there
for
for a
over
very
three
long
years,
time.
and we've been showing people straight up, like I said, straight up, showing how to get it, where to get it, how to get some in your pocket with it, everything. So I'm not gonna act like my history isn't what it is, but I want to put it out there like this. And forgive me if my network is a little because I'm in another room and it's not as strong as it is in my in or the front areas. But I will share this with you while I can. It's on my network. Just say okay. I'll share this with you. When you learn something new that is outside of your normal experience, it gives you an advantage. You want to continue, especially in the area of finance. Everybody knows from child up that a drug dealer know how to flip money.
Absolutely.
Okay, a hustler know how to flip money. Gamblers know how to flip money. Okay, but my question is why only them? How is your mama flipping money? How is your neighbor flipping money? Or even better, how is your boss flipping money with you? How is the pizza man up the block flipping money, turning small portions of their income, their cash flow into new amounts? Because I guarantee you it didn't cost you the
Mm,
550 to make your pizza. Okay?
not at all. It
Didn't cost
doesn't.
you
But
20 that pie don't cost $25 to make. All them ingredients didn't put that in there. But they had to include something called a profit. Now,
profit,
when you got your
expense,
paycheck,
overhead.
ever check exactly. Now, profits come after expenses and overhead. Okay,
Absolutely.
they made room for all of that. Don't think that you pay for this store to be up because baby, you pay for way more than that. You pay for their kids' dental work, you pay for their new car, you pay for that new house. Over time, that person is learning how to flip money constantly. Now, for my business owners, let's put it out there right now. Y'all know that you got to take a little bit of investment and turn it into a profit. That's you
Yeah.
flipping money. My question is did you know that portion of what you make in your profit has to get set aside to continue to grow without your physical effort? Or you will keep doing that you'll keep having to make the money for profit until you die.
Absolutely. Warren Buffett says it all the time. If you don't start making your money work while you sleep, you will work until you die. You
And
will
that is a
literally work
fact,
until you
not a it's not fiction, it's not a question, it's just a fact. It's how it works. If one of the richest people on this planet tells you something that's a reality, and regardless if he tells you how, if he gives you a clue as to what your steps have to be, you're going to ignore it and go, that's just how rich people talk. Or you're going to listen to it and start figuring out how to get to that point.
die. The only answer to that is, what did he say again? And keep repeating it. Keep repeating what he
Exactly.
said because he didn't say it just to be to lose the air in his lungs. He said it because it is more than likely how he maintains his fortune.
And if you read it or you heard it or he says it to you, it should have a high value price, a high level of value for you. Now, that being said, I'm not going to go too deep into anything, but I want to just share that's what crypto is for the people. It's your ability to turn your small income, the thing that you're struggling for. I don't, like I said, I'm going to go back and state it. I don't care if you get a monthly check. I don't care if you get a paycheck. I don't care if you get a stipend. I don't care if you get a pension, what do you call it, your pension, what have you.
Retirement.
If your money isn't making money, it will run out either with your it will run out because of time or will run out with your ability. And this goes for those who work those jobs where you only get paid when you show up. Okay, all of our day workers and people who have to make every dime in their pocket. Your job as an individual is not, it's not to keep working, just keep working. You have to keep moving forward with the knowledge of how to make that income come in even when you can't be there.
Absolutely.
I had this discussion with my husband. We look, I ain't getting all up in our business or nothing, but I'm gonna be really honest. We had to have that discussion. My husband tell you all the time, he works for the state. That gentleman has been going through something right now, dealing with a situation. He can't be at work. And something that he had realized along the way. You want to share that? Would you like to share that with people what you came to the realization of with me?
Even if you have what you consider to be a good job, it's still an entitlement because if they don't send it, you don't have it. You're still waiting on someone to create it for you. So unless you're creating it yourself, you're still under the gun, no matter how good it is. You are still under the gun, and you are susceptible as long as you allow yourself to be.
And like we say in crypto, not your keys, not your crypto. Well, if it's not your flow, it's not your dough.
Exactly.
And that's
It
simple as
ain't yours
that.
till it gets to your
If
hands.
it ain't your flow, it ain't your dough. And if your check don't show up and they say okay, they can hold on to it, regardless of what you think you earn, regardless, think about how much it might take to get it if you get that. Now, my question is if of all those people who are on services, if tomorrow they change the ruling and laws and said that, well, we don't have enough funding, we need, we gonna need y'all to prove that you need this much money, and you can't come up with a way to prove that, what you gonna do?
Not even that. What if they tell you you got to pay it all back?
Well, that's coming. And look, I'm not trying to scare nobody, but those things have already started happening already. There's a lot of people who go from work to from what they say welfare to work and find themselves in situations where they have to pay that back. Where actually their short-term income that they gotten was a loan, and they get a bill and their check starts getting garnished
Trimmed.
until it's paid off. Now, mind you, you're not in the program no more. You working a job, but now you got a bill plus moving forward. So a lot of that, just to let you know, some states actually had to stop that. Some states put that in place in order to replenish the system, but they realized that that was defeating the purpose because people would then go back into the same situation that pulled them in the first place, and the states were losing funding, trying to recoup from workers. Now, what we say all of this to say is that we brought to you that Bitcoin is making moves. Whenever Bitcoin becomes prominent in New York, and just to let you know, some serious financial moves have been made across the country.
Absolutely.
By the way, Bitcoin has been legalized in New York for, well, almost
10 years.
11 years, 10, 15 years. No, a little longer than that. About, yeah, because and we shared some video with folks. There have been people who've been holding Bitcoin mining licenses for about a decade now. Why? Where did they get the mining licenses from, y'all? Y'all know? If it wasn't out here, if it was illegal,
Where did it come
where did
from?
they get exactly? We gotta learn the questions to ask. Where did all of this come from? And what do you mean that people with former licensing there's no new licenses being offered. When were there? Why didn't we know? Why wasn't the opportunity extended?
Why wasn't it openly available? Is the question you really want to ask.
Okay. So let's goes back. That goes back to my conversation. While you have state after state going through, we're gonna be the Bitcoin mecca. We're gonna be the center of Bitcoin. Y'all know all them politicians that said those words. Y'all know all of them. Y'all seen the news stories where mayor this, senator that, or this one said this is gonna be the blah blah blah. Ask the people in El Salvador. It is difficult to get adoption of a project when you don't
Absolutely.
have adoption of the education for the project.
Absolutely. You have to educate the people.
Undereducated people are not successful at running long-term projects, especially financial ones. And you won't, what we don't want to happen as the people is a system created for us out of one that was a free, simple, flowing, privatized system anyone could use.
Well, look at it this way. The process has always been to keep people in, for lack of a better word, a pigeonhole. So you have to go back to the same box. What is that? Who moved my cheese?
Uh-huh.
Who moved my cheese? Perfectly.
So
They would put the
for those
cheese
who
in the
haven't
same
read the
place.
book, Alvin, for those who haven't read the book,
Yes, 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 yes. Who moved my cheese is just another form of Pavlov's dog, and you guys have all
or
known
the
it.
I'm
The
sorry, no,
dog.
don't go there because everybody
Okay.
doesn't know
So,
about
all right,
Pavlov's
all right.
dogs.
So let
You
me.
see this
Pavlov's
this
dog
brother,
is a
this
study.
brother too bougie, y'all. He too bougie.
Listen, the woman who sits higher than me on the screen. I want y'all to see
Oh,
that. But Pavlov's dog is a study that was done that states if you put dog food and water in a certain place and you ring a bell at a certain time, the dog goes to that one place to pick up the food and get his water. You do
mm-hmm,
this every day for 30 days.
mm-hmm,
And you put the food there one day, but you don't ring the bell. The dog's not going to go there. What happened? He didn't hear the bell.
mm,
Okay. Who might cheese is similar to the same process, but they do it with rats and they put them in a maze.
mm-hmm,
And they put the cheese at the end of the maze and they let the mice go. And they put the cheese in the same place every day.
mm-hmm.
For those people who get a paycheck, you can relate it to the same way.
And
Every
that
Friday, every Monday, every Wednesday, they put the check at the same place. You go to the same place to pick it up.
now what
One
happens
day
when the
they
checks? Yep.
say,
Go ahead, Al.
what happens when they say the check ain't there? Or they
Mm,
move the cheese in the maze? Or they don't ring the bell for the dog to go get his food?
mm-hmm.
This is what we're talking about. This is
What
essentially what we're saying to everybody.
and to make it very plain, what happens when your check doesn't show up? Do your bills stop coming? Do your
Oh, they do
responsibilities
not.
stop being? So we want people to understand it is on you to create the alternative pathways for keeping your bills under check. When you make an agreement with someone for your rent, they don't care how you get the money. They just have an agreement that you said you'll pay them this time for this service or good that they offered. Now
Every
they did
month.
their part. They did their part. They're expecting yours to be to be fulfilled.
Absolutely.
And in contract, that is where that lives.
How we actually are supposed to operate on a regular basis.
But then we want others to do the same thing with us, don't we? We tend to have it whereas when we make a contract or an agreement with someone, we want them to respond in kind to that agreement on time. When we say that when you've done 7 days of work, you want to be able to go and know and go to that job and say, okay, I know my check is going to be right here on my desk. That's where it comes every week. But the week that it doesn't come and your supervisor's gone, or the person that's supposed to deliver your check to your, to you is not there. They explain that the checks are late because it was a long week, or we had a holiday week and they didn't cut them, and you just didn't know. Grant,
You
good
didn't
evening,
know, huh?
everybody. Good evening, everybody. Hey, Miss B, how y'all doing? Look, I want to be real with everyone. Life, we have to start setting up our lives as the people. There is a specific reason why the masses of people are broke. That is a state of being, because they were educated to being broke. They were educated to go somewhere and get their cheese and only depend on that cheese to get things done. There you go. Miss, here we go, Miss B. Give me 1 second.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. And when that cheese is not there, the problem is that all the people that lined up, and they have lined up with their hand out on a regular that they pay, are going, no, 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 we still need our cheese. They still coming to you because they used to you going to get the cheese and then coming to line up for your cheese to get the cheese, their cheese from you. But do believe this, it's the smart ones who make sure that there's more than one place the cheese comes from, that there's more than one stream that's providing for their existence. I wish I had a double screen because unfortunately I can't load it right this minute. But I love watching. And I never thought I would. I wasn't really I'm not a big basketball fan.
Would you like me to
I
find that?
Sure. Can you look up Shaq's one about his businesses? It's a short one. Play a short video, because one of the things I want people to know, that the difference between you and a rich person, it's not that they got more money. It's simply because they learned something about finances. They've learned something about creating financial flow, putting in another stream to make sure that if one doesn't come through, the next one got it. And the fact is that the average person is just trying to work and make sure we get these bills paid. What you mean pay 10%? You want me to put 10%? Yeah. I want you to put away 10% is the minimum. And as a matter of fact, Al, if you can pull up the one where Shaq does that example of the savings, that would be perfect. All right. So just go ahead and grab the one for the savings where he shows how wealthy people save. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead. You put the sound on, right? Okay, love.
The sound is on.
Okay.
But I'm wealthy because I didn't know the difference. And I said, what's the difference? He said, well, wealthy is when I'm die, when my kids die, when they kids die, when they kids die, we're still gonna have the same amount. And I thought about that. Then I said, okay, how you do it? And he pulled out a piece of paper. After he said, it ain't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. How many times we seen cats would get the bag with 100 and then they go blow it the same day. Now they got to get another 100. So he said, if you got $100, you save that. That's 50. He said, rich people, I say, okay, I'm saving 50 and I'm doing that. But he said, the wealthy does this. You save that. This, ball out. House, chain, car, whatever you want. But
75.
Save it, yeah. He told me, he said, you're rich, but I'm wealthy. Because I didn't know the difference. And I said, what's the difference? He said, well, wealthy is when I'm die, when my kids die, when they kids die, when they kids die, we're still gonna have the same amount. And I thought about that. Then I said, okay, how you do it? And he pulled out a piece of paper. After he said, it ain't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep.
That's right.
How many times we seen cats would get the bag with 100 and then they go blow it the same day. Now they got to get another 100. So he said, if you got $100, you save that. That's 50. He said, rich people, I say, okay, I'm saving 50 and I'm doing that. But he said, the wealthy does this. You save that. This, ball out. House, chain, car, whatever you want. But
All right, y'all. All right, now. You heard what he said.
Look,
Unmute
every
Al.
time I hear that just blows me out the water.
The reason, look, I need people to understand. We're not telling y'all, look, we're not speaking none of this stuff like, yo, you wealthy today. But your habits definitely determine how you live in long term, how your tomorrow is going to show up. A lot of people are showing up as broke. I decided, look, I'm going to be real with y'all. About 7 years ago, I decided I wasn't broke. You know why? I said, okay, first of all, I keep claiming a condition that I am not. Because as long as I could find a dime in my pocket, a penny in my pocket, I couldn't claim broke.
Nope, you can't.
Broke is when you have nothing. No, nada, nothing. Now, what I wasn't, okay? And that's one of the things people go, oh, the first thing they tell me is, I don't believe in that spiritual stuff. Let me explain something to you. I don't care if you call it metaphysical, energy, universe, whatever, God, whatever. You better learn to do what works. Because the minute
That's
I
just
told myself
belief.
that I forget belief, I didn't have to believe that I had a penny and that meant wasn't broke because a penny equals not broke. See, I went back. I decided to take all the emotion out of all of my finances and decided to get real logical about it. Bottom line, if you got money, you got money. If you don't, you don't. There is no in between.
Not
It's
at all.
only thing that determines if you're gonna be broke or you're gonna be wealthy and moving forward is what you do with it, how you manage it, the skills you learn to have with your finances changes your opportunity, changes your situation, even changes your title.
So what are some?
You know,
Since you're there, What are two major keys that people really should look at if they're going to do this? If this is something they're going to claim out their mouths, I'm
all
not
right.
broke.
First of
What
all,
are two
I'm
major
just
keys?
I'm going, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor or professional. This is not what I do. I don't
Mm-mm.
give financial advice for a living. I share with y'all experiences and things that worked in my life. I share with everybody, things that keep us moving forward. We helped us situations. I mean, on the real. I'm not talking about things that, I think might work. I'm not gonna go there because I'll tell you right now, straight up, if it didn't work for me, if it hasn't worked yet, we don't have much to talk about. I'll be like, well, you could just, start yours. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've gotten to so far. But to be real, I'm out here changing life on a regular basis. Making moves to make long terms. I'm thinking 3 and 4 steps ahead of my finances. So therefore, I don't have a problem today because I'm already in next month's schedule. I'm in the month after that schedule. How did I get there? My first thing was I realized you got to have money. What's that, Mr. Thomas?
Closing the room. Closing the room.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to mute when you do that because it's coming through your mic. All right. So straight up, I'm just trying to let y'all know. First thing I did, my very first thing, I had to get my head straight. A number one, numero uno. If you think in a certain way, that's what you get in every time. I don't give a dag what you say. What you think is what you get every time. So if you're telling yourself, I'm broke, I don't have time for that. I don't know if I can. I'm not smart enough. I've heard people say this to me out loud about themselves. And first thing I tell them is we're gonna stop that if I'm gonna help you in any way. If I'm gonna eat, I will not take your money for a class. None of my private sessions will go to you if you come in already thinking you're not going to do the work. I don't have time for that. See, I don't have time to waste. My time is worth more money than anyone has in their pocket on the planet combined.
You got to come in with mindset.
Not only that, you got to come in with a reason because I'm not here to manage your money. We here to help you get the tools you need to put into your passion. You come into me telling me that you're not capable, then you just told me that you don't this ain't for you. And it's okay. So the first thing was is I told myself, I'm ready. I'm ready for the change. I'm ready for something different. I'm ready for today to be the day that a penny can turn into anything. I'm ready for the day because I know I was never afraid to work. I've been hustling since I was 9, y'all. Okay, have about four different local what do you call basic skills because I can do hair, cook food, clean, babysit, answer phones. Look, I'm still going. Answer phones, build computers, tech. What do you call it? I can man technology. I know networking. Guys, I'm now starting to build websites.
That sounds like
I'm
more than four.
consistent. I'm consistently over time building small amounts on top of skill sets. I didn't start that way. Okay. But I'm the new tool. I'm the I'm the plug in my life. And when you come to me and you say that, we can get started. Because I'm going to tell you something. The other thing was discipline. I decided that if I could have anything, I was going to have to be responsible for anything I was going to have. I first thing I did was I had to figure out where my money was coming from. Everybody, I already hear it. Y'all saying it. Y'all, what you mean? I don't have no money. If you are sitting on this computer right now, you
You
got
got
money.
money.
If you watching me on YouTube on any of these platforms, you got money. It's what you don't count is what you have. Because honey, let me share something with you. 10% is literally a penny out of every dime. Get where I'm coming from?
How
A
often do you throw the
penny.
pennies in the corner in your room?
And it doesn't matter if you do. You can do that. You can go collect bottles. You can do errands. You can do favors. You can sell junk you never should have bought in the first place. So easy to get rid of the stuff you don't want without even throwing away. People will buy it because they got bad habits.
What happened to
People
the stuff
just
you
want
have
to
in the
buy
closet
stuff.
for over 2 years, baby, that you don't
Anything you
touch?
have, there you go. And it's sellable. Some of it you don't even know. And I love these vintage restore storage storing programs that do the flips and stuff. And they have
Yep.
the you buy the bins, the storage bins, and you end up making a lot of money of stuff people thought it was left in lockers and left a bill behind. Now
Oh
somebody's
yes,
making
yes, yes,
thousands
yes.
of dollars of what you couldn't pay $50 a month for. Crazy, right? But the fact of the matter is you have to first start thy purse to fatten. Start making money, hustle, get a little cash up. Two, you have to have a habit of not spending every dime in your pocket. You have to make sure that at least one dime out of every dollar gets put away. Three, you have to find a way to continue the process without you. That would be where we go into investment. And when I say investment, that's figuring out what the heck that means. You invest in your education on that subject matter. Spend some time figuring out how to make your money grow because you spend all this time trying to get it, then you don't like spending it. Then you go spend time at the club or at the bar trying to drink off the nonsense because you all messed up because you broke. According to you, you broke. And now you really broke. Okay?
True indeed, true indeed.
But what if you had decided, people go, well, I save up for my vacation. What if your life could be a vacation? You could just work anywhere and be anywhere because, you have multiple streams of income that pay for you to just get up and go. What if that could be your life? I live in New York near Central Park, and I don't know if anybody has seen any of the movies around Central Park. Y'all see them, right? Y'all seen the movies around Central Park where they always have the people running in the park in the daytime during the week. And you might see some people who are people, and across the street you have people just kind of sitting around the park feeding the birds and feeling all good and fine or sunbathing. And that stuff you really see in New York. And so one day I had to take the day off to go to from work to the doctor. And thing is, I took the bus and stood in front of the bus in front of my house in near Central Park. And I looked behind me I think it was a Tuesday afternoon. Sun was out, must have been spring. And I'm getting here waiting for the bus. I'm always at work, by the way. I'm up at work. We got the kids on the way to school in the morning. I'm
Hmm.
at work right after that. I'm inside. Most times I don't get to come out for lunch, so I'm ordering lunch in the building. And by the time I get out, it's heading in the dark. It's getting dark again. I walk home sometimes if I would walk home sometimes if it was nice enough and sun was still out a little something, but most times it wasn't. So I missed an entire day of fresh air. And that happened more than my days off. that 2 or 1 week a month a year. Come on, people. You earn out of 52 weeks, you earn
You
one
get
to
two.
2 weeks off.
Hard
Okay.
to.
That's like being able to see the sun twice, two, for 14 days out of a 365. Come on, y'all. Now, I want you to think about that's the average life, y'all. That's what people are living and working and killing themselves for because they don't have income to not be at the job. They don't have
Mm,
income to pay that bill to go to the doctor to get their teeth fixed. There's no other income to fill in the gaps. Why is it? Because you were taught to go to work, go to school, go to work, get a good job, pay your bills and your taxes, and retire, hopefully, and live a good life on probably a fourth of what you earned on a regular basis when you were struggling.
and that's closer to the truth now because it used to be 40%. Now it's about a quarter.
So while we know that that math does not really work, before you wait till the end of your life to get there, if you are lucky enough to get a pension or a retirement, how about we jump ahead of this thing? How about we jump on this thing that seems to be coming faster than it ever has, and people are making a lot of finances and securing things? How about we get the education on from somebody, or just sit down and listen to what's going on? It's
Hmm.
time. People need to come together, and I know that every Monday and Friday, P2G is helping people understand, come together and understand what it means to diversify your income, what it is to
Absolutely.
have multiple streams of income, of financial security. And tonight, we have a really, that was the other thing I was talking to my husband about, y'all. This Mr. Thomas, y'all met this man, right? That's my boo. Let y'all know that right now. That's my boo, just letting you know. And he and I talk about a lot of things. We share with
We're gonna
people
put
on
that
a
out.
regular basis. Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is, we share with people all the time that it's if education is it gets so daunting because of how we were raised. But what if you could have fun learning something new about money? What if you could have fun? What if you could have a ball and ball out? Well, guess what? Somebody made it possible. Some amazing people made it possible to have a true ball, enjoying learning about cryptocurrency, about budgets, about the finances around the world. And we're going to do it in a really special way tonight. Mr. Thomas, go ahead and unmute. Let them know, baby.
Oh man, tonight's gonna be a good night. We are having family fun night on the Crypto Boomers. Everybody is welcome to come out and play. And we are playing Jeopardy. And,
Ah,
and we have branded it Boomers Jeopardy, but it is family night for everybody to come out and play. And we're teaming up and we're giving prizes are being given out. So just come out and play. Come on, check us out. We're on.
wait. Go back. You said prizes. You said prizes.
Come again?
You said prizes. What we talk
Yes,
about?
I said prizes, and we're not
Come
telling.
on now. No, no,
You gotta
no. Come
no
on now.
no 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 no. You want to find out what the prizes are? You need to show and prove. You know,
Ah,
you gotta show and prove. If you want to be part of the game, you gotta show up. We have
all
the
right.
link on Eventbrite under Boomer's Jeopardy. Go right to Eventbrite, click
Uh-huh.
on Boomer's Jeopardy, and get in, get registered, and come on through.
Is the
Or
link
you can
on
go right to our website
I
and
was gonna
click
say
on
the link on P2G. Let's see it. Let's see it.
the link on P2G is right there.
All right, for Boomers Jeopardy tonight, it starts at
Mhm.
exactly 9 o'clock. After we're
Nine
done
o'clock.
here, they're going to get on and start setting up. So you guys start registering, get yourself in, get family and friends, send family and friends because
Yep.
this is going to be fun and it's going to be broadcast live. So come and play with P2G's Boomers for Boomers Jeopardy.
Yes,
We
it
are,
is.
and it's so much more than crypto Jeopardy. You're going to get a lot of good information about finances. You're going to get a lot of good information about stuff. Actually, you're going to be able to win because I've seen them diversify the message, and so things that we are very familiar with, we end up getting the win with. So don't forget, We have events and have classes and programs that you can get into for free, 5 days a week. Okay. P2G Networks is to pay, we pay it forward. That is our motto, and it always have. So if you would like, hop on. And we have Chocolate Gold Train in the house. Hello, Sister Chocolate Gold. Ooh, I love these people. I love this is our family. And we want to thank everybody for coming through. And we can't wait
Yes,
to have
indeed.
people hop on and do what they do. It is so important that we continue this process of sharing the word. We hope that you guys join us because we're moving to the metaverse.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I can't wait to play Boomers Jeopardy live in the metaverse. Oh, I can't wait. I can't
Oh,
wait.
that's gonna be phenomenal. Okay,
All
okay.
right.
So we got to get going.
Family,
Love you much, and we'll see. We're gonna see
peace
you
and
on
blessings.
really soon. Peace and blessings, love and adoration. We love you all. Peace.